Hey guys, Kiwi here. Welcome back to another Fear the Walking Dead video. Today, I wanted to talk about Madison and what we should expect from her character development in Season 3. Spoilers for anything up to the Season 2 finale. So first off, I want to go over an interview with Kim Dickens about Madison and Travis in the double finale. She goes on to say that Travis doesn't feel sorry for what he's done, killing two men with his bare hands. Madison says that this is okay, that she understands him, and that she understands the feeling. She accepts what he has done, and she's done it herself, and says that she's done worse, apparently. Travis was made like this because of the zombie apocalypse, but Madison tells him that she was already like this beforehand. This gives us a window into Madison's backstory that we didn't know about before. She was already like this before? What does that mean exactly? Has she done things in the past that we don't know about? Probably. I mean, she's hidden the truth about Alicia's father for so long. It wouldn't be a surprise if she had any other dark secrets in that head of hers. In the Talking Dead episode for the Season 2 finale, people implied that Madison may be more than we think. Kirkman elaborates on this by saying that her backstory is very dark and that she has definitely done things, whatever that means. This was all by design, a theme that he and Dave Erickson apparently wanted from the start. And this is really where the show creators and the fans had a completely different idea about the show. So the creators wanted very diverse characters, ones completely different from Rick Grimes, Michonne, Daryl, etc. I feel like what the fans really wanted was some crazy apocalyptic action as the zombie virus outbreak begins, maybe even alluding to a hint or a tease at some sort of military or government situation involving how this outbreak even started. Maybe not necessarily an answer, definitely not a cure, but something along the lines of that. Cities falling, just a ton of action, and we didn't really get any of that. Now that is honestly a completely separate video topic for another day, but the creators of the show just had something completely different in mind than what the fans wanted, and I really just think that they advertised this show wrong. But anyways, they really wanted all the characters to be diverse and not carbon copies of the original show. By doing that, they've honestly created a group of characters that weren't really likable to start off with, and as we've grown to, get accustomed to them, now they start introducing some of their backstory, whether it be Nick's father, or, in Season 1, Nick being a druggie, or Ophelia's past, or Daniel's past, or whatever it may be. And having them bring a darkness into the apocalypse opposed from developing it is something we're going to be playing with. And we'll get a little bit more into that next season. And mainly focusing on Madison here, even if you go back and watch Season 1, look at how little she reacts to bad news. We always knew something was up with her, considering she hasn't seemed that surprised to literally every dark and horrible thing that has happened in the show. She's almost desensitized to horrible things around her and just accepts them. Chris Hardwick, along with everyone else on Talking Dead, always joked about Madison being some sort of serial killer or having already been a murderer. But it seems like now that literally might be leaning towards the truth more than we thought. Her eyes just stare into your soul. So many scenes with her in deep thought with that stone-cold facial expression on. Ever since the beginning of Season 2, people suspected something off about her. Besides the fact that she wasn't that likable of a character, to be honest, the way Madison reacts to things are definitely underwhelming to say the least, as if she's already seen it before or done worse. And if this is all true, we'll probably get a flashback or two explaining the context and scenario this all happened in. Maybe Madison was in a tragic accident which caused someone to die. Although this is a possibility, I feel like what she did was worse and also more intentional. She could have murdered someone in self-defense of herself or maybe a family member, but who and how? What positions would Madison be put in pre-apocalypse where she finds it necessary to murder someone in order to protect either herself or her family? Maybe this all involves Nick in a way we are unaware of yet, and even himself. Madison and her ex-husband had a lot to deal with when it came to Nick, eventually causing the husband to commit suicide. Nick simply being a drug addict isn't enough for a dad to just want to kill himself, at least I'd hope not. So maybe he knew Madison's dark, terrible secret as well, Or even better, he could have been involved in it somehow, even if he didn't want to, and he couldn't take the guilt anymore, being where enough is enough came from in his small suicide note that Madison found and eventually told Alicia about. We'll see this story unravel more and more as Travis and Madison are forced to possibly kill more and more people in self-defense in Season 3. People keep saying that she's done worse than Travis, but beating 2 people to death with your bare hands is way worse than locking Celia in a cell with zombies. They say Madison has a darker backstory. What is it? They have slowly been developing all of these characters throughout the first 2 seasons, especially in Season 2B. Since the group was split up, they were able to focus on individual characters a lot more. The way they include the backstories of these characters can almost seem forced and unnatural sometimes, but if you look past all that and just try and get into the story, yeah, it all makes sense, but the story has to be brought into the right time that makes the audience care. I wasn't the biggest fan of the mini drama happening in Season 2B about Nick and Alicia's father. We never even saw him in the show, and we only heard of him once when Nick mentions him to Strand when he gets called Nicholas, all the way until Season 2B. We finally then slowly see things from each perspective of the family, first being Nick, then Madison, and finally Alicia. This story arc came to the conclusion between Madison and Alicia, but it just all felt so unnatural, and it's not the actors' fault. I mean, they did a good job. It's just the story in general, especially since I didn't care about their past too much. And if they would have never mentioned some of these things, in my opinion, the show would have been just as well off. They could have put that time into developing something else. Now, Madison possibly being a serial killer, or at least some sort of murderer, pre-apocalypse, does come into play with the Season 3 theme, that the family may have to kill again to defend themselves and stay safe. We're starting to bleed into that area where we don't know if the characters will be good or bad from now on, and it is very possible that we're starting to watch a group of villains arise right before our eyes. We see all the little things that slowly start changing the perspective of these characters, and I feel like Season 3 will definitely be taking a dark turn with them. The title of the show, Fear the Walking Dead, refers to these characters, as the original show, The Walking Dead, referred to the survivors, not the zombies. Fear the Walking Dead really has a deeper meaning when you think about it, and I believe that this show is being set up in a completely different way than any of us expected. That may disappoint some fans as they still complain about wanting more chaos in the original Outbreak, but it's been confirmed that it's just over 2 months into the show at the end of Season 2, so that opportunity is pretty much done. I honestly think they blew it with Season 1. Season 2 has redeemed them and actually gotten me fully on board, and hopefully Season 3 will be something to brag about. In the future, I'll be doing more Fear the Walking Dead videos, including more character-specific videos, predictions, and theories. I'm currently also working on gathering my opinions for how I think they'll eventually end the show, how long it'll be until that happens, and if the show will ever possibly cross over with the original. That's about it for this theory so far, though. I'll update it in the future if any news or leaks come out further elaborating this, but for now, let me know what you guys think. Do you like Madison or not? And regardless of that, do you think it's believable that she was a murderer? If they are taking Season 3 in the whole direction of, oh, maybe the family will have to kill a bunch of people now, they're going to be more relentless and ruthless, and they don't want to take as many chances, this may bring up Madison's backstory, and it would make sense as it has to do with the current situations. If there's any missable details further confirming this, definitely feel free to give examples in the comments, but thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Feel free to leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Peace out, guys.